Hi, I'm Mrs. Hoffmeister, and I have a question for you. How are you today? Now, a lot of people ask that, and that's nice of them, but I'm really serious. How are you? Do you know? Can you tell? Have you thought about it? It's really important for us to know how we're doing, how we're feeling, because when we know how we're feeling, then we can take control of how we're feeling. So if you're feeling a little worried today, that's okay. Know that you're feeling a little worried and then have yourself think about something else besides what's worrying you. You can take control of your thinking. You're in charge of what you think about. I brought a math problem. That helps me control my thinking. So come join me. Here we go. Ooh, I love pictures. They help me think. It says, name the fraction. Well, I know some things about fractions. I know they have a top number and a bottom number. I know they have a line in the middle. And I know they talk about parts of a whole. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at my pictures. And then I've got some work down here too. I'm going to do my work in parts because sometimes when I look at everything at once, I get a little overwhelmed and then my brain says, no more. But remember, I have control over myself and my thinking. So my strategy is to do a little bit at a time. So I'm going to do this little bit first, and then I'm going to keep going. Here we go. Name the fraction. I'm going to look at this one first. Let's see. With a fraction, there's a numerator and a denominator. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. Now I know on the bottom, it has the total number, the whole. Let's see how many pieces there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is my denominator. Now I'm going to look at my numerator. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Now, I could write the fraction 3/5 like this, but you know what else I could do? I could write it in words, and it means the same thing. 3/5, 3/5. It's exactly the same meaning, but it looks two different ways. Let's keep going. You try this fraction right here. Did you get 3/6? That's what I got too. And if I look at it a little bit more, doesn't it look like, doesn't it look like a half? Interesting. All right, how about this one? Ooh, it's a lot of pieces. Numerator, denominator. I could also write 3/10. Now, I've written my fractions, and the question says, what do you notice? Well, let's see, I notice that there's 3 pieces for each circle. That the part for each circle, the numerator for each circle is 3. I also notice that this is smaller than this. Now I'm looking at these two and they look kind of equal to me. I'm wondering though, see how this is a straight line and 3/6 is the same as 1/2, like if this were a pie or a cake or something. If I do that over here, oh look, it's more than 1/2. That's interesting. This number is 5. This denominator is 6. This denominator is 10. So if I have the same amount of pieces, but the number on the bottom is different, look how the pieces get smaller as the denominator gets bigger in number. Fascinating! There's so much to notice. Now, let's look at the last 2 questions. Blank is the smallest fraction. All right, that makes me a little nervous at first, but it's okay because I can think about it and I can control myself. Smallest fraction, like the smallest piece, like the smallest bit of a cake or a pie or a cookie or a pizza or anything circular that you would eat. Now, if I look at this and I'm thinking to myself, I got a cake, the smallest amount of the cake, which I don't want, I want the biggest, would be 3/10. Looks like the smallest fraction. 3/10, or I could also write 3/10 is the smallest fraction. Let's look at the next one. Blank is the largest fraction. Well, we know it's not this one. Let's look at these 2. Remember, they look so similar to the eye, but I'm going to do this little test. We call half a benchmark, and I want to see which one is half and which one is more or less than half. So remember, this one is a half. 3 on this side, 3 on this side, that's equal. If I do that over here, look, this is my half, and there's more than half, which means that 3/5 is bigger than 3/6. I could also write it 3/5. Wow, that was a lot of fun and a lot of thinking and a lot of steps. But if we take them one at a time and do a little bit at a time, you don't have to do everything all at once. You can't. So a good strategy, a little bit at a time, and we have control over our thinking. Thanks so much for thinking with me. I will see you next time.